very good evening and welcome to Newswatch this 7th of December 2021. Thank you so much for joining us for the latest news updates on Hope TV. I'm Tony Omondi and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Let's begin with our top story tonight. Now, a police officer shot and killed 6 people with an AK-47 rifle in the wee hours of Tuesday before committing suicide in Kabete area, Nairobi County. The policeman behind the bizarre incident, whom authorities have identified as Police Constable Benson Mbasi, reportedly started shooting at innocent members of the public after killing his own wife. As Kennedy Kimani now reports, the motive behind the killings by the officer remains unknown, with investigations ongoing to ascertain the cause of the incident.
7 people have been confirmed dead and 2 others seriously injured after police constable identified as Benson Mbasi went on a killing spree on Tuesday morning in Kabete area, Nairobi County. Constable Benson first killed his wife and then later on walked out of his house at 3 a.m. with his service-issued AK-47 rifle and began shooting at anyone he came across, after which he later shot himself dead. 3 of the young men who were shot dead were mourners who had just attended preparations for a funeral, while the other 2 were boda riders, of whom one of them lost their life while undergoing treatment at the Kenyatta National Hospital.
Kati ya zile risasi alikuwa ametumia, kwa sababu alikuwa na magazini yake ilikuwa na risasi 30 na alikuwa ametumia tayari risasi 26. Kwa hivyo aliweza kutumia risasi kiasi, na baada ya kuua mke wake alienda akapata watu waendeshaji wa pikipiki ambao walikuwa wanategea wananchi wakigojea wasafirishe, na hapo akaweza kuwaua 5. Na baadaye, kwa sababu tuli circulate information kwa mtandao yetu ili tuhakikisha ya kwamba hata kulete hali ya ukosefu wa usalama kwa wengine, yeye aliweza kurudi, alizunguka, baadaye akarudi karibu mahali ambapo yeye anaishi na akapaka gari. So officers wetu walipokaribia kwenye lile gari, ndio na yeye aliweza kujipiga risasi na akajiua.
The motive behind the killings is still unknown, with the increasing number of suicide cases among the police officers in the country raising a concern about the mental wellness of the officers. Kabete Sub-County Police Commander Francis Wahome said that they have never had any concerns about the officers' behavior, as he had been going for duty properly and had never been involved in an incident like this.
Nafikiri jambo la kwanza kuelezea ni ya kwamba polisi ni wanadamu kama wanadamu wale wengine, na wanaweza kulemewa na huo msongo wa mawazo, lakini kuna hatua kadhaa ambazo kitengo cha polisi kimekanyanga. Tuko na directorate ya counseling na inaunganishwa na ya chaplaincy. Hii ni ili kusaidia maofisa wetu katika mambo ya kiroho na katika mambo ya kiafya ya mawazo.
The shooting incident later sparked protests along Thiongo Road, with locals setting fire to tires, demanding explanations on why it happened.
Kweli jambo lililofanyika siku ya leo naweza sema ni kinaya, kwa sababu tunayemtarajia walinda usalama ni watu ambao wanafaa kulinda usalama wa mwananchi, lakini watu kama hao ndio wamekiuka tena, badala yake ndio wanaweza kuangamiza, na watu wamepoteza maisha kupitia kwa mlinda usalama mmoja. Kwa hivyo hali ya usalama mahali hapa imedhoofika kabisa, kwa sababu ninapoongea tuko karibu sana na police station ya Kabete, lakini unaona watu wanapoteza maisha kiolela kwa njia ambayo ni ya kushangaza sana.
Mr. Wahome has said investigations are ongoing to ascertain the cause of the incident. Kennedy Kimani, Hope TV Newswatch, Nairobi.
Thank you, Ken, for that report. Now, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, has launched investigations into the alleged shooting incident by a police officer in Kabete, Nairobi County, that claimed the lives of 6 people. The police officer, identified as Constable Benson Mbasi, committed suicide after the morning shooting spree. The deceased include his wife, neighbors, and border riders who had rushed to his house to check what had happened when they heard gunshots. According to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, Section 25 of IPOA Act dictates that deaths and injuries occasioned by actions of the police be investigated by the authority, regardless of whether the officer involved is dead or alive. The authority said it has dispatched its rapid response team to obtain information that may be relevant in unveiling the circumstances surrounding the shooting incident. Upon conclusion of investigations, the authority will make appropriate recommendations to the relevant institutions. Meanwhile, Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i has said the government will commit more resources to mental health and counselling in the police and prisons departments to help officers deal with stress and other personal challenges. Matiang'i said, like other members of the society, police was susceptible to a stressful work environment that has been compounded by the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking at the Administration Police Training College in Embakasi during a memorial service for police officers who lost their lives in the line of duty, Matiang'i condoled with the families while condemning the recent incident in Kabete involving a police officer. He said, though preliminary investigations on the shooting of 5 people by a police officer pointed to a possible love triangle, detectives had been dispatched to the scene to conduct thorough investigations.
We will investigate that incident integrity and get to the bottom of the matter. We are concerned, and I am the first one to admit here is the minister. There is no reason to actually lie or even hide about this. We have had challenges of various kinds across the countries, not only in the police service, mental health challenges, social pressures and problems. I mean, cases of homicides that we are dealing with out there, not even within the police service, are huge. There are some counties in Kenya, for example, I don't want to name them so that I create stigmatization, for certain regions of the country. There are counties in the country where we have, seen a spike in some of these cases recently. We have been having meetings with faith-based organizations and leaders, especially the clergy, asking them, let us now work together. This is not going to be a matter of the police or a matter of the provincial administration or a matter of, it is going to take all of us to deal with this issue. While the clergy are dealing with it in their organizations, they are dealing with it with their faithfuls, Nyumba Kumi and the elders are working on it, and family counseling is happening, and it requires all of us because these challenges are real, they are there. We have had some of our young people who have abused drugs and they're doing strange things. We have some of our young people who may be having challenges and they cannot cope with the challenges they have. Now, honestly, as responsible people, what is it that we need to do other than come together and try to resolve these problems? Trivializing these issues, rushing social media, calling the Inspector General names, insulting everybody, the CS and all that, that is not the way to solve our problems. The way to resolve this is to come together and work together. Find out, we have institutions here that will investigate the matter. The Internal Affairs Unit is on it, DCI and others are on it. We get the facts, we find out whether there's any culpability, and we go the direction, the investigations point us. And we keep working. That's how we are going to build a strong and responsible society. Because these problems are not going to end today, they won't end tomorrow either, and even if we solve these ones, we will have others that we'll need to deal with. It requires that we be much more responsible than I'm seeing in some of our fellow citizens.
Let's get to some politics now. All is set for ODM leader Raila Odinga's Friday's Azimio la Umoja convention in Kasarani, Nairobi. Members of a parliament from Jubilee and ODM parties who are allied to Odinga visited Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, the venue for Friday's Azimio la Umoja rally, where they assessed the progress of the preparations. Odinga is expected to officially declare his 2022 presidential bid during the convention, where 5 delegates from each of the country's 1,450 wards are expected to attend. Dickens Luvanda has the story.
A joint caucus of members of parliament from both ODM and Jubilee parties on Wednesday visited the Moi International Sports Center Kasarani, the venue of Friday's Azimio la Umoja rally, to be led by Raila Odinga. The brigade, led by MPs Richard Onyunka, Simba Arati, Gladys Wanga, Junet Mohammed, Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasser, Zulekha Hassan, Caleb Amisi, Samuel Atandi, among others, inspected Kasarani Stadium ahead of Odinga's 2022 presidential election declaration set for Friday.
Nairobi is ready, and we met yesterday. Jubilee party officials and ODM party officials, we met yesterday under the leadership of Baba, and we did agree that we are going to fill this stadium. As much as you say you want to bring 5,000 from a constituency across the country, you better tell your people to come very early. Otherwise, you find this ground already filled by Nairobi people.
According to Odinga, who was speaking on Monday while receiving aspirants from Kajiado County who allegedly defected from the United Democratic Alliance UDA, the Kasarani convention will bring together all Kenyans, regardless of parties, to celebrate and affirm national unity.
Nataka baba aendelee asiendelee. Bas. Aendelee asiendelee. Sasa mimi nasema mimi nitajibu. Siku ya Ijumaa nitatoa jawabu. Vile mimi nataka mambo yaendelee.
In case Odinga declares he will be on the presidential ballot come 2022, this will be his 5th attempt to capture the highest office in the land. The team planning the Kasarani event is led by Suna East Member of Parliament Junet Mohammed, working with the 5 delegates from each of the country's 1,450 wards, which means that at least 7,250 delegates will attend the meeting.
On Friday, you are all invited. In fact, in Nairobi, don't wait for vehicles to bring you. There will be no space for vehicles to park. So be here as you can be in the bucket or anywhere else in Nairobi.
It is, however, not clear if President Uhuru Kenyatta, Odinga's handshake partner, will attend the meeting. Dickens Luvanda, Hope TV Newswatch.
Meanwhile, Deputy President William Ruto has castigated plans to form tribal parties by his competitors ahead of next year's general election. The DP, who took his Asla campaigns to Laikipia County, said schemes would polarize the country further. However, says the schemes would be defeated by Kenyans interested in policies and programs, as Alice Diana tells us.
Deputy President William Ruto has challenged his competitors to abandon tribal political parties for a national party, an outfit he says will compete with UDA on a platform of issues. According to Ruto, the attempt to divide the people of Kenya into tribal and regional parties is an attempt to divide the country by people who have no agenda to sell to the people. During a development tour in Laikipia County on Tuesday, he urged his competitors to stop advancing divisive and ethnic politics.
Tofauti mkubwa leo katika taifa letu la Kenya kati ya sisi na wale tunashindana na wao. Wale tunashindana na wao wanaamini ati wagawanye wa Kenya kwa chama ya kabila na chama ya kijiji kwanza, ati alafu baadaye wataenda kufaidika kama viongozi peke yao. Sisi tumewaambia tunatengeneza chama ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote, chama ya kitaifa ambayo italeta jamii zote za Kenya pamoja.
While drumming up support for his presidential bid, Ruto said his administration will implement the pledges that were made by the Jubilee government.
Mimi na Uhuru Kenyatta tuliwaahidi ya kwamba tutapanga ajira ya hawa vijana, na tutapanga kilimo, na tutapanga mambo ya universal health coverage katika ile mpango ya Big 4. Mimi nataka niwaambie hiyo program ya Big 4 haijatembea vile tulikuwa tumepanga kwa sababu tulipata matatizo, lakini nimekuja hapa kuwaambia hiyo program ya Big Four kwa sababu ni ahadi yetu mimi na Uhuru Kenyatta, na kwa sababu rais anaenda kustaafu mwaka ujao, kwa sababu ni deni yetu. Mimi nasimama hapa kuwaambia watu wa Rumuruti na Kenya, hiyo deni mimi kama William Ruto nitalipa kwa niaba yetu sisi wote.
The DP was accompanied by several MPs, including Patrick Mariro of Laikipia West, John Kinyua of Laikipia, Alice Wahome of Kandara, Kate Waruguru of Laikipia, Charles Kamuren of Baringo South, Susan Kihika of Nakuru, Rigathi Gachagua of Mathira, and Kimani Ichung'wah of Kikuyu, who expressed their support for him.
Sisi tuko na mpango na tuko na chama ni UDA. Mpango ni hebu semeni bottom up. Wale wengine warete mpango yao, warete sera, warete chama, warete candidate, wakutane na huyu kwa uwanja, sindio?
Nataka kutangaza tukiwa nyumbani ya kwamba sisi hapa Kenamba tumesema 100% ya kwamba rais wetu wa 5 ni William Samoei Ruto.
For Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Alice Diana.
And the One Kenya Alliance, OKA, has toured Taita Taveta County to sell its agenda ahead of the 2022 general election. The tour that saw all the principals address masses at Wundanyi, Mwatate and Voi stopovers sought to outline the OKA agenda as well as establish grounds for OKA's political campaigns in the days to come. Speaking during the rally, Amani National Congress leader Musalia Mudavadi called on Kenyans to elect leaders with good track records. KANU party leader Gideon Moi hinted at the possible revival of the free school milk program that was popularly known as the Maziwa ya Nyayo in an effort to boost enrollment among primary schools in the country.
Sisi kama wanaoka, Kalonzo akiwemo, Gideon Moi akiwemo, Wetangula akiwemo na ndugu zetu ambao wako hapa katika kaunti ya Taita Taveta, tunasema tunataka viongozi ambao wataaminika kuanzia kule mashinani MCA hadi cheo cha urais. Mimi nataka uangalie jirani ambao umesimama na yeye hapa. Hebu atazama nyuso ya yule yuko naye hapo karibu. Na muulize, je, wewe ukimwachia mrembo wako kwa dakika 5 naende kujisaidia, ukirudi huyu jamaa atakuwa amekuhadaa ama utamwamini? Tunaelewana? Kwa hivyo kwa kitaifa tena ni lazima tujue kwamba yule ambaye atakuwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya ni yule ambaye ataaminika ama hataaminika.
Kuna serikali 3 pamoja, 3 in 1. Legislature ya kina Mashako hii, alafu kuna executive ambaye itaongoza na ambaye atakuwa hii timu ya OKA, alafu kuna mambo ya wanasheria, mahakama zetu. Mahakama ni lazima ziwe huru.
Trust us, we trust you. Believe in us, we believe in you. Work with us, we shall work with you. Work with us, we shall work with you. Move with us, we shall succeed together. Mali zenu, Savo East, Savo West. Wakati huu ni National Game Park, sindio? Hiyo tutabadilisha ikuje ikue reserve, mali ya county ya Taita Taveta.
And that story takes us to a fast commercial break on Newswatch. We still have more lined up for you. Don't go too far.
Only God can turn a mess into a message.
I have a boy on a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I'm still preaching on the pulpit.
Amen.
Niliona mguu ya nyuma inakuja tu kunikanyaga, imenilenga tu kwa tumbo. Nikaitana tu Jesus.
I got tired of working with the x-ray papers, and one day I just woke up and decided to burn them.
A test into a testimony.
The whole community didn't want to hear that anybody is born again. Excommunicated, straight.
Bila Yesu hakuna njia.
Join Sharon Naitore Wangenye on Testify.
Katika hiyo harakati hiyo spirit kakemewa, mimi nimeona Yesu Kristo namna hii. Kwa msalaba. Opa. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Every Thursday at 8 p.m. for a moment to grow your faith some more.
We praise together, we praise Him.
Whether you are fat or thin, and for me, I don't consider myself fat. I consider myself good for my purpose. To hug women. When they come crying, and they come and hug me, they just come and I hug them and they cry and cry and cry until they are comfortable.
We praise together, we praise Him.
Welcome back to Newswatch. President Uhuru Kenyatta has received credentials from 6 new ambassadors posted to Kenya. The president received diplomatic papers from Firas Farhan Saleh Khoury of Jordan, Cristina Diaz Fernandez Gil of Spain, and Silvio Jose Albuquerque y Silva of Brazil. In his welcoming remarks, the president reiterated Kenya's commitment to the strengthening of bilateral ties with the respective countries and wished them a successful tour of duty in the country. Moving on, Chief Justice Martha Koome has been named the 2021 CB Madden Prize Laureate in recognition of her efforts in defending the rights of children and vulnerable persons in the society. Koome was named the 9th recipient of the award on Tuesday at a ceremony graced by Justice Mohammed Ibrahim of the Supreme Court, among other senior judges at the ceremony hosted by Dr. Vincent Ogutu, the Vice-Chancellor-designate of Strathmore University. In her acceptance speech, CJ Koome pledged to continue championing justice. The President of the Supreme Court said her dedication to the legal profession was informed by compassion for vulnerable people, adding that in doing so, she leads with her heart. She challenged those in the legal profession to be agents of justice while making reference to her agenda as head of the judiciary-themed social transformation through access to justice. A university don, Professor Fred Ogola, now says Ugenya sub-county in Siaya County is the worst place to fall sick, especially for a Kenyan living below the poverty line. Professor Ogola from the Strathmore University has lamented that only 17 health facilities that are spread in the sub-county lack adequate personnel and vital drugs. He says this is contrary to reports by the Siaya Health docket that indicated the county had achieved the World Health Organization threshold of 4 kilometers between the people and a health facility. Ogola, who organized a medical camp in the sub-county, challenged local leaders to step up and seal gaps in the health sector.
Ugenyans are seeking treatment outside Ugenya. They spend over 1,500 in travel costs to look for healthcare. And I discovered that healthcare makes people poor. Everybody knows that even rich people, when they lose a relative through sickness, they look for fundraising, no matter whether they drive a Range Rover, a Mercedes-Benz or not. It tells you the cost of healthcare is very high. And with the little income that people get from Ugenya, where everybody is on Fuliza, M-Pesa, all these things, these people cannot afford healthcare. And some of them just sit there waiting in hope they recover. In every medical camp, we treat an average of 1,600. We spend around 2.6 million in every medical camp. It is such a big sacrifice, but the satisfaction is great. When you walk in the village, you hear somebody says, I am well because of you.
Business at the famous Makinon market, popularly known as Marikiti in Mombasa County, was disrupted when a reportedly rogue auctioneer descended on almost 20 stalls and carted away goods worth millions of shillings under unclear circumstances. The traders were shocked to see people they called goons displaying a court order under the supervision of regular police officers. During the tussle between the traders and the auctioneers, one trader was arrested by police officers for trying to obstruct the auctioneers. When the media arrived, the auctioneer reportedly disappeared from the scene. Mohamud Jailani, one of the affected traders, told the media that they have been operating at the market for the past 23 years and have been paying their monthly rents without fail.
Tumechukua mali yetu mamilioni sasa hii. Tumfuate nani sasa? Na wamekuja na karatasi ya Hadija. Tukienda kule tukisema mali ni yetu, hakuna mali yetu, tuseme mali ya Hadija kwa hapa, tuseme nini? Sasa hiyo ndio sheria na ndio hivyo. Sheria ndio hivyo. Sheria ni waoni kabisa, ni karatasi mtu apoe notisi, hai kwa tarehe fulani usipolipa tukuja kufunga. Hata ukishania ana right kuja kubana tu muda siku 7, asipolipa kodi yake aje ivunje achukue mali ile ndani. Lakini hakuja chochote kusema. Kwa sheria ukishania aje abane duka au abandike karatasi pale ndani ya siku 7, kama imekosekana solution yote aje avunje mali ile ndani achukue. Ndio right hapa wako nao sasa peke yake. Lakini asije bila warning yote, bila kubana duka yote aje avamie mali ya watu moja kwa moja. Hatuambieni jamaa sheria gani sasa hii?
Hawa ni watu ambao mengine hawajui sheria vile iko. Sasa ile tuliyopata kwamba hiyo barua inatafuta Hadija na hana mali hapa ndani Hadija, ndio tukasimamisha tukazuia mali nyingine. Mali nyingine imeenda over millions things ameenda. Tutafanya hiyo hesabu na tutasui hiyo auctioneers ambao walibeba mali bila idhini ya wenyewe. Hiyo ni kwamba kuvunja mali ya kuchukua mali bila idhini ya mwenyewe na bila ruhusa. Kwa sababu mimi kama mwingine niko na hii mali, naitwa Ali Sheikh, niko na leseni zangu, niko na biashara yangu. Siwezi nikachukuliwa mali yangu kwa niaba ya mwingine.
Various high-level diplomatic engagements between Kenya and other friendly nations have taken place in recent months in pursuit of the country's trade, economic and foreign policies, all of which are geared towards economic growth. While addressing the press in an update on Kenya's bilateral agreements, government spokesperson Cyrus Oguna said the stability that is currently being enjoyed in the Democratic Republic of Congo has created has created immense opportunities, for investments in diverse sectors. DRC has made an application to be a member of the East African Community, and discussions are ongoing which will result in incorporating the DRC market onto the East African Community.
Nchi ya Congo ina opportunities kibao. Ukiangazia tu kwamba ni nchi imekuwa na matatizo kwa kipindi kirefu, matatizo ambayo sio ya kwao, matatizo kutoka nchi za nje, lakini sasa amani imerudi. Ila tu bidhaa hasa za kilimo, tunapochukua kwa mfano bidhaa za kutoka kwa mifugo, iwe ni siagi, iwe ni maziwa, iwe ni nini, zote zinatoka nchi za nje. All of them are imported. So kiwa wewe unaweza chukua siagi kutoka hapa Brookside, kutoka popote, peleka Kongo. Soko lipo, watu wapo na ni wakarimu. Kwa hivyo sio kuangalia tu mwingiliano ya nchi zetu mbili, lakini kuangalia nafasi gani zipo pale za kuweza kuchapa biashara. Wengi watasema kwamba hawana mtaji, yani hawana capital, lakini Equity Bank imetenga shilingi bilioni 500 ya kuweza kusaidia hasa wale ambao wanataka kuwekeza kwa kilimo kule DR Congo. Kwa sasa hivi kuna kampuni 200 ama Kenya 200 ambao tayari wanapokea ile hela. Mbona tusiongezeke tuwe wengi zaidi ya 200? Ama vipi bwana ndugu yangu? Hela ipo, bilioni 500 ni sio pesa kidogo bwana.
Let's look at what is happening internationally. At least 38 people have died and many more have been injured in a fire which tore through a prison in Burundi. Vice President Prosper Bazombanza told reporters the blaze hit an overcrowded facility in the capital, Gitega, with at least 69 people seriously injured. Images circulating online show a building engulfed in flames and piles of bodies are said to be of inmates in the jail. Reports say that almost 90% of sleeping halls were burned. Journalists outside the prison say that nurses from Gitega Hospital entered the prison to help the victims. A prisoner who survived the fire said it broke out at around 4 a.m. local time while many inmates were still asleep. And Kenya is on high alert after Uganda reported 7 cases of the Omicron COVID-19 variant. According to Uganda's Ministry of Health, the variant was detected in travelers from Nigeria and South Africa. The Omicron COVID-19 variant was first identified by scientists in South Africa in late November and has since been detected in countries neighboring South Africa, including Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Angola, and Zambia, as well as among travelers to distant countries including Netherlands, Thailand, Israel, United Kingdom, Czech Republic, Italy, Belgium, and Germany, with a list of countries continually growing. Since its identification, the variant has been a major concern to health experts as it's feared that it may not respond in treatment to the current COVID-19 vaccines.
From country music, classical quartet harmonics,
Now I'm a child,
homecoming series,
for he saved the worst among
tent revival, many more.
I'm gonna lay down my burden, down by the riverside, down by the riverside.
Watch these great musical adventures on The Bill Gaither Show, featuring Gaither Vocal Band, Linda Randall,
For the God on the mountain.
and many other series like The Alaskan Cruise. These gospel favorites, recorded in front of beautiful sceneries, guaranteed to rejuvenate your love for gospel music. Bill Gaither Show, only on Hope TV, where you look and live. Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Let's continue with business news. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta has assented to the Central Bank of Kenya Amendment Bill, Public-Private Partnership Bill, PPP, and Trustees Perpetual Succession Amendment Act, all of 2021. The amended Central Bank Act 2021 gives the Central Bank of Kenya powers to license digital lenders in the country, as well as ensure the existence of fair and non-discriminatory practices in the credit market. On its part, the new Public-Private Partnership Act repeals the 2013 legislation by providing an elaborate legal framework to cover both national and county-level PPP projects. Further, the new law expands the role of the private sector in PPP initiatives beyond financing to include construction, operation and maintenance of the projects. The Trustees' Perpetual Succession Amendment Act, passed by the National Assembly on 19th October this year, seeks to simplify the registration of trusts by, among other reforms, shifting the administration of the process to the new Office of the Principal Registrar of Documents. National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi, his Senate counterpart Ken Lusaka, Treasury CS Ukuri Atani, and Head of Public Service Dr. Joseph Kinyua attended the brief bill signing ceremony. And Diamond Trust Bank has become a participant of the United Nations Global Compact, joining thousands of leading companies across the world that have committed to advance principles of responsible and sustainable business. The bank, which has subsidiaries in 4 East African countries, joined the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative anchored on the United Nations at a ceremony in Nairobi presided over by Group Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director Nasim Devji.
This is a great day at DTV as we reinforce our commitment to operating as a sustainable organization. As a financial institution, we have been able to achieve growth by funding the economic development of the region for over 75 years across all spheres, including corporates, individuals, as well as small and medium enterprises. Throughout this journey, the interest of the communities that we operate in have always been central to us, as we are committed to being a purpose-driven bank that seeks to improve the quality of lives of our customers and the broader-based community. Our commitment to join the UN Global Compact speaks loudly to our intentions of being an active contributor towards sustainable business operations.
DTB today joins more than 14,000 businesses across the globe, 3,000 non-business signatories based in over 160 countries, and becomes the 6th financial institution in Kenya to join the UN Global Compact movement. As a special initiative of the United Nations Secretary General, the UN Global Compact is a call to companies everywhere to align their operations and strategies with 10 universal principles in the 4 key issue areas of human rights, labor rights, the environment, and anti-corruption. Our ambition as a compact is to accelerate and scale the collective impact of business by upholding the 10 principles and delivering on the sustainable development goals through accountable companies and ecosystems that enable change. The UN Global Compact is the world's largest voluntary corporate sustainability initiative that is uniting business for a better world and is uniting business to be a force for good.
Financial services provider Zamara Group has launched Africa's first pension savings plan on WhatsApp. The latest innovation will allow customers to open, access, and transact with Zamara's Fahari Retirement Plan account via WhatsApp. Speaking during the launch, Retirement Benefits Authority Chief Executive Nzomo Mutuku lauded the effort, saying the innovation is a first in the country and they're optimistic that it will spur voluntary individual savings, not only for the informal sector, majority of whom do not have a savings retirement plan, but also the youth and general, whilst helping change the narrative and perspective of savings in the country.
A lot of people still use
feature for the simple feature phone. And again, so even on USSD, this is very easy, as convenient. But on WhatsApp, the beauty with WhatsApp is that we can communicate, we can personalize the conversations. We can, talk about financial literacy, financial planning, well-being. How much do you need to save? How much should you be putting aside? What is the benefit of an insurance cover? We can provide bite-sized communication, right? And we would use the data to target the communication so that the right information is getting to people, right? Ideally, this money is meant to be for your long-term future, right? So that is our intention, to get people to look at their, what they will need in the long term. But the reality is that a lots of people, when you say to them, look, this money is locked in for the long term, they may not want to do it.
Let's have a look at some sports news now. The national rugby sevens team Shujaa have been pulled in Group D for the third leg of the HSBC Rugby Series in Malaga, Spain, alongside France, Canada and Wales. For the first time in the new season, the maiden tournament is set to include all core series teams, as New Zealand and Samoa will return to circuit following challenges caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Great Britain will also split into the home nations of England, Scotland and Wales following the expiry of the standings agreement that allowed them to play the calendar year 2021 as a combined side, meaning competing teams will now be 16 and not 12. Pool A will have reigning champions and current series leaders South Africa taking on England, double Olympic champions Fiji and Scotland. Pool B will have Australia, Ireland, Japan and the returning New Zealand, who claimed silver in the 2020 Olympics. Already guaranteed to finish second in Champions League Group A, PSG are currently facing off with Club Brugge as Manchester City are squaring it off with RB Leipzig for match day 6. Elsewhere, Liverpool will aim to make it 6 wins from 6 in the 2021-22 Champions League when they pay a visit to San Siro to lock horns with AC Milan, who are involved in a 3-way battle for second place. And so is Atletico Madrid and Porto, who face off in Spain. Meanwhile, Group C winners Ajax will aim to maintain their flawless as they welcome fellow last 16 qualifiers Sporting Lisbon to Amsterdam as already out of contention for last 16 place. Borussia Dortmund welcome eliminated Besiktas to the Westfalen Stadium. And finally, Real Madrid and Inter Milan will lock horns at Bernabeu with a first position in Group D on offer for both sides, as Shakhtar Donetsk will be looking to end a disappointing campaign on a positive note when they welcome Sheriff Tiraspol. All right, with that, we've come to the end of this live broadcast of Newswatch tonight. Thank you so much for always tuning in. My name is Tony Omondi. Our sign language interpreter has been Boniface Murithi. Till next time, have a good night and God bless.